राम भरत की गाथा होगी, जब तक है संसार अमर है राम भरत का प्यार, अमर है राम भरत का प्यार। सुना भरत ने हुआ राम को, जैसे ही वनवास, दौड़े दौड़े पहुँच गए वो वन में राम के पास। राम के बदले न था
सर्वद्वार
सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Together we'll chant Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verses 11 to 20.
सर्वद्वारेषु देहेऽस्मिन् प्रकाश उपजायते, ज्ञानं यदा तदा विद्यात् विवृद्धं सत्त्वमित्युत, लोभः प्रवृत्तिरारम्भः कर्मणामशमस्पृहा, रजस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे भरतर्षभ, अप्रकाशो प्रवृत्तिश्च प्रमादो मोह एव च, तमस्येतानि जायन्ते विवृद्धे कुरु नन्दन, यदा सत्त्वे प्रवृद्धे तु प्रलयं याति देहभृत्, तदोत्तमविदां लोकान् अमलान् प्रतिपद्यते, रजसि प्रलयं गत्वा कर्मसङ्गिषु जायते, तथा प्रलीनस्तमसि मूढयोनिषु जायते, कर्मणः सुकृतस्याहुः सात्विकं निर्मलं फलम्, रजसस्तु फलं दुःखम्, अज्ञानं तमसः फलम्, सत्त्वात् सञ्जायते ज्ञानं, रजसो लोभ एव च, प्रमादमोहौ तमसः भवतो ज्ञानमेव च, ऊर्ध्वं गच्छन्ति सत्त्वस्ताः, मध्ये तिष्ठन्ति राजसाः, जघन्यगुणवृत्तिस्थाः अधो गच्छन्ति तामसाः नान्यं गुणेभ्यः कर्तारं यदा द्रष्टानुपश्यति गुणेभ्यश्च परं वेत्ति मद्भावं सोऽधिगच्छति गुणानेतानतीत्यत्रीन् देही देहसमुद्भवान् जन्म मृत्युजरा दुःखैः विमुक्तो मृतमश्नुते
Bharat, you have a question?
Just a clarification on verse 16. It says the fruit of good action is sattvic, but good action itself reveals sattva, right? It itself reveals knowledge. So, how do we perceive this then?
Yeah, good question. So when we study these texts, we get quite a fatalistic view about it. I am sattvic, I am rajasic, I am tamasic. It's very fatalistic. It's like I am something. But what he's really trying to say is the law, which is as you think, so you become. Yes, it is true you are something, but that is only the past. Now, what are you doing? Now, are you encouraging the tamas or the rajas or the sattva? So, we have a rather fatalistic view towards the gunas, like as if, oh, now I have these gunas, now I am like this, like as if ab to meri takdeer lik gayi hai. No, right now you have the choice. So, if you choose to operate with your sattva, your knowledge will increase. If you choose to operate with your rajas, greed will increase. If you choose to operate with your tamas, you will get into heedlessness, delusion, ignorance, all the characteristics he has given. So it is true that you are something now, but it's equally true that you have the ability to choose which one you're going to be. Is that clear?
Yes. Thank you.
So it's a good starting point that Bharat has given us today. It's a very important law for us to realize that it's not what we are that's important. What is important is
Where we are heading.
where we are heading. What are you
What we
trying to
choose.
do? Correct. What are you choosing to do? Where do you want to go? The problem with us is we are all very backward oriented. Oh, my sattva is so much. Oh, my sattva is so little. Are you backward oriented? Forget it. Whatever you are, you are. Now, where do you want to go? So you're right. Choose. What are you choosing now? This moment, what are you choosing? Are you choosing to pay attention to class? Are you choosing to do something else in class? You have a choice, right? So you put on your video, that's a choice. Or you choose not to put on your video, that's another choice. And all the time you're making these choices. And these choices are writing out your destiny. You're just writing as you're choosing. The moving finger had writ. And having writ, all your tears and all your appeals is going to change anything of the past, what you have done. Can't do anything about it. So choose correctly now. So he's telling us, if you're choosing your sattvic element, knowledge will arise. Chapter verse 17. If you choose your sattvic tendencies, what are your sattvic tendencies? Give Examples of sattvic tendencies. Where you're choosing what? What kind of things are you choosing with your sattvic tendencies?
To help other people,
Help
to
other people. What else?
Up in the morning and doing studies.
Very good. Get up in the morning and study. What else?
Persistence.
Sorry?
Persistence will be a rajasic or a sattvic quality?
Depends
Persistence.
on what persistence towards what.
Okay. And being calm,
Being
trying,
calm. Very good.
being aggressive when needed.
Correct. Meaning what in a term? Leading with your intellect. Keeping your mind calm and taking the action that is really necessary. Asking yourself which action is necessary. Is action necessary in this case? Hundreds of things, right? Every moment we are choosing. Every moment. So are we choosing our sattva? What does that happen? Am I taking a pause to stop and think what I should do? Because propulsion from the past is very strong. I've done the action before I have realized what I've done. So therefore, taking a pause. Okay, there's no rush here. Let me think about it. I mean, don't say, okay, no, sometimes there's a rush. Of course, sometimes there's a rush, now you have no hope. But you don't have a rush all the time. If you have a rush all the time, then you better exert some more sattva. Correct, Milan. Choosing the right company. Choosing discipline, choosing consistency, choosing higher goals, choosing to not jump to conclusions. Thinking before speaking, right, Aditi? For any action, pause and think. All the filtration you do, choosing to pause and reflect, yes, think. Even if you're working towards a higher goal, you have to think, is what I am doing actually helping me achieve that? Or am I mechanically doing things with that goal at the back of my mind somewhere? So choose your sattva. Choose to go with your sattva. Don't choose to go with your rajas. How do you choose to go with your sattva? If you see you've made a mistake, what should you do?
say sorry.
Apologize.
Apologize. Everybody knows this, right? But is that what we will do? No, we will get defensive and try to prove how we were right in the first place. Very few people will say, I made a mistake, I'm sorry. So simple. Simplicity is another aspect of sattva. A rajasic person finds it very difficult to be simple. And by simple means just a simple solution to everything. Doesn't mean you have to wear simple clothes and all. Nobody's asking you to wear simple clothes. You can wear whatever clothes you want. But it's this easy. It's easy to deal with a sattvic person, because if the person makes a mistake, he simply says sorry. And he attempts not to repeat that mistake. Simple, right? Life is so simple. So go with the sattva. Everything smoothens out. But when you go with rajas, then what happens is agitations build. When agitations build inside you, you want to collect so many things from this world to soothe those agitations. Some people say, what do they call it? Stress eating. They start eating. Some people will go retail therapy. They go to the mall. Why are they doing all this? Because agitations are building. They need something to bring it down. I need to see a movie. I need to see YouTube. I need... Why are you doing all this? Because
To soothe the agitation.
agitations are growing. So when you say rajas is greed, don't be so unsympathetic with them. With ourselves, when we are behaving like that, we recognize what's going on. I'm getting agitated. And therefore, I'm asking for more and more things. Otherwise, any normal person, what is there to ask for? Simple. I mean, you've eaten a full meal now, you're going to ask for more food. You live in a nice house, will you ask for more houses? I mean, the agitations are building. And because the agitations are building, you want to get rid of this stuff. That is why when you're with a Rajasic person, you take a step back and say, okay, let this person finish what they're doing, and then we can maybe add something to it. Well, otherwise, you can't even talk to them because they're too busy, too busy, too busy. Doing what, Baba? It's simple to be happy, but hard to be simple. Yes, Mahesh. Just if you live a sattvic life, there is no greed because
the desires are very few.
You are satisfied. You are satisfied.
you're happy. When you reach, correct, satisfied. When you live a Rajasic life, you have greed because
They're agitated.
Were agitated.
Greed, agitation.
Because you
you're
want more.
agitation. You're agitated. We're not talking about somebody else, we're talking about ourselves. Right? If you eat the right quantity, whatever is right for you, why are you eating the right quantity? You're generally happy with things, you'll eat the right quantity. When will you start eating more?
When
Greed.
you have workload or you
Stress.
somebody said something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Stress.
you've got agitation, you've got stress, you've got too much workload or whatever. You've got something going on. That's why you're not doing it right. Or you just had a fight with your husband, so then you have to grab a sweet because you exhausted so much energy quarreling with your spouse that now you need some replenishment.
Or you may not choose to eat.
Or you may choose
Stressed.
not to eat, correct? I don't want to eat. You want to treat me so badly, I will not eat. What is your food requirements to do with other people treating you badly? No, I will not eat. You are behaved very badly. No. Yes, Bharat. This Bharat and Mahesh and all don't understand all these things. That's why they're asking. You don't know what it means to fight with a spouse. You have to get married, to understand Vedanta. Yes, Bharat.
I have seen other spouses, Tankiji, so very well aware.
Okay.
So agitation and excitement can make a person go overboard, right?
Excitement
Yes.
is a form of agitation. It could be any
Okay.
form of agitation. It could be, I'm so excited. I just became Rotary president. Now I'm going to eat everything in sight. So, it could be anything, any kind of agitation.
Sorrow also, ma'am. Sorrow.
No, agitation. All of it comes under stress, sorrow, excitement, whatever.
Attachment.
All of it comes under agitation. You understand the psychology of what is happening. Why is a person overdoing something? What is this greed about? It is the absence of satisfaction. If you are already satisfied, why will you ask for more? And why are you not satisfied? Agitated, how can you be satisfied? It is the nature of a living being to always, it's a law, the nature of a human, of a being, of any living being, to always seek
Pleasure.
Happiness.
happiness. Now you don't have it. When you're functioning with Rajas, you cannot have it. So what will you do? You will try to get objects and beings to get that happiness. Not recognizing that that's not the way you do it. You do it by returning to sattva. Be disciplined, be a thinker, be disciplined, be consistent, be service oriented, return to sattva for heaven's sake. That should be the name of the next book, no? Return to sattva. Nice name. What will we write in it? Though the same thing every other book will say the same thing. come back to your own sattvic nature and identify with it, be with it. Because we all have it. How do you know we have it? We all have sattva, right? How do we know we all have sattva?
We are in class at the moment.
All,
In
even
pockets
those-
we have. In pockets we have peace.
Okay, but how do you know you have? Each one has sattva. Everyone has sattva. How do we know this?
Because every human being is made up of 3 gunas.
Very good. Every being is made up of the 3 gunas. So, however bad I am, I have sattva. Now, let me return to that sattva. Let me not worry about all the tamas and rajas. I don't want to deal with it. It is there. It will come on its own. I don't need to identify with it. When it comes up, let me return to sattva. When it comes up, let me return to sattva. Yeah, Meera.
Suppose you have a partner who's Rajasic and you are more of a Sattvic person. Isn't it a bit difficult to deal with the person, even though you try to understand that he or she is behaving because of the Rajasic nature? How do you deal with that?
Remember, firstly, that rajas is in competition with rajas. Rajas and sattva, there is no fight. Let us say a person is very rajasic. So, what does that mean? He's rajasic or she is rajasic. It means that that person is hot tempered. It means that that person wants to go out to party, or I don't know, some traits, right?
Passionate.
Huh?
Passionate.
Passionate, aggressive, whatever, traits of rajas. Now, these traits can only clash with our traits. If I don't have opposite traits or those kind of traits, it cannot clash. So my rajas is clashing with somebody else's rajas. Because sattva, there's no clash. What is the clash? You want to be X, whatever you want to be. You want to go to the mall and do shopping. So what is sattva's opinion about that? So मैं क्या करूं? You go to the shop and do shopping. No, I want you to come with me. Then it's a matter of, do I have something else or can I go with you? Right. So let's not identify it as that person is sattvic and that person is rajasic, I am sattvic, that person is sattvic, I am rajasic. Let's not identify it like that, because that brings us to a very, where does that go? So why not just be a little more simple in our analysis? This person and my desires are clashing. Right? This person wants to, I don't know, give me an example, Meera.
Socialize all the time.
Huh?
Socialize all the time.
Socialize all the time. So this person wants to socialize all the time. I don't like socializing. I'm sure many people in this class will identify with. So your spouse likes to socialize, you don't like to socialize. These are two desires clashing. So we have to decide how best can we handle it. Such as, okay, you like to socialize, let us say 5 days a week. I'm happy to do it, let us say 1 day a week, 2 days a week. So, can you go out 3 days without me? No, I can't go 3 days without you. Okay, can you go out 2 days without me? So you make a compromise, right? That's how you work it out. But it all depends. Today I was writing in the morning the book on relationship, as you probably know, that happiness 3 in terms of writing is over. So now I'm waiting for they have to read the whole thing and make sure no grammatical errors or some question mark in the wrong place or comma in the wrong place. All that Mamita and Deepraj are going to go through it and make sure that there is nothing particularly wrong with it. And then it goes for production. So now my job is over. So I'm writing another book. So who who do you choose to marry? That's one of the points in the book. How do you choose? Certain circumstances around me have made me think about that. How do you choose the person to marry? There are various points, of course, but the one which is relevant over here is, Meera, where are you? Now, there you are gone. Okay, so how do you choose? So many things depend on your personality. But the one thing we must choose when we decide to marry somebody is that they must have at least a streak of discrimination. Because you have to know that when two people live together, it is simply not possible that all their desires are going to match. It is simply not possible that every time in life the situations are going to be good. It could be a very simple thing. It could be a terrible traffic jam. You're stuck on the road for 6 hours. Once coming from Academy to Mumbai, which is like a 2-hour journey, took us 12 hours. Right? So you could be stuck on the road. So constantly, life is throwing stuff at us. So if I'm in partnership with somebody for my life, then one thing I need to make sure the person has is at least some streak of discrimination, which I know how to tap into. Right? So now, of course, all of us have gone well beyond that stage. But at least this much we must have, that I must be able to find that streak of discrimination in my partner and tap into it. Okay. So find that streak of discrimination and tap into it. Right? If there's a quarrel going on, what will happen to the streak of discrimination?
We'll go out of the window.
Go out of the window.
Yes. So don't do it at that time. In calm times, find a way of compromise so that two people can live happily together. Is there some compromise? Now, don't find a compromise, which both people are unhappy with. So my husband and I often discuss, because obviously he does his thing, I do my thing, and then sometimes we have to talk and say, okay, this and that, and so we have this line between us. Okay, so this one is where nobody's happy. So when nobody's happy, we don't take that one. So don't take that one. At least one of you must be happy. So sometimes a compromise means this is 100% yours. This is 100% mine. Okay? So don't come to a compromise where both people are unhappy. Like just the other day, we had to go somewhere or something. I said, go to X place. He said, Y place. And then we said, okay, then let's go to Z place. And then we realized Z place, neither of us want to go. So why are we going there? We might as well go to X or Y, so at least one of us is happy. So the moment you're able to sort of contact the discrimination of the other person, it's not that tough. But we tend to bring out our swords every time some problem arises. Sometimes allow the other person to have a win. And sometimes you must have a win. So that's how the balance is maintained. Now, this is assuming it's a normal, good relationship. If it's a bad relationship, okay, like your spouse beats you up. I'm saying spouse because sometimes men are behaving very badly, sometimes women are behaving very badly. I don't know if you saw the recent video, which is, have you all seen it? One man who committed suicide.
Yeah, in Bangalore,
Yes.
an IT professional.
Yeah, terrible, no? And then somebody else said that a lady committed suicide and she hasn't left a suicide note, she hasn't left anything, but her family, her husband, mother-in-law are all in jail. And this boy has said it. He said, left a 1-hour video and nothing has happened. So we tend to maybe be, I mean, we have to be just, right? Within ourselves and in society. So maybe your wife or your husband may have mental health issues or may have problems in the personality, or I know one lady, she used to come to class with bruises on her face. He used to beat her so much. What happened here? I mean, it's not like you can't see it. You can see it. It's on her face, on her hands. So that you have to leave, right? What I had asked, what are you waiting for? Till he kills you? Better leave. So now when we answer a question, Meera, you gave us no data. So therefore I have put in all my own data. Right? So if it's a normal, good relationship, you click into the discrimination. You find a time where your discrimination and the other person's discrimination is working and click these gears. Then we are fine. And over a period of time, as you do it, like in the early years of marriage, you will take out your talwar because you have very high expectations from your husband that he's going to look after you and he's going to do everything for you and all that. Then later on, those expectations keep coming down. But okay, once you've figured out your expectations correctly, then now you work it out between yourselves. When you first get married, you feel you've got Prince Charming, and I don't know what is the opposite of Prince Charming? Princess Beautiful or something. I don't know what. You think, oh wow, kya jodi bani hai, to ab to swarg hi swarg hai. Then slowly you start cooling down. Okay, so then if you have clicked into each other's discrimination over a period of time, then it just becomes like second nature. It happens all the time. But if it is a really bad situation, like people are beating each other up or torturing each other, I don't know what, some horrible things they do, get the hell out of there. So 9 out of 10 times, it's not like that, but I'm giving both options. Does that help you, Meera?
Thank you, Janki ji.
Right, so from Sattva arises knowledge, from Rajas greed, from Tamas arises heedlessness, delusion, and ignorance. In one line, if you had to paraphrase this, you would say,
Cause effect.
okay, you could say that, but a more practical way of putting it, you're right, you're not wrong. You would say,
As you think, so you become.
very good, Bharat. As you think, so you become. Identify with your sattva, you gain knowledge. Identify with your rajas, you will gain greed. Identify with your tamas, you will become heedless, deluded, and ignorant. Okay, so far so good. Now we go to verse 18. Urdhvam gachanti sattvastaha madhye tishtanti rajasaha jaganya gunavrittistaha adho gachanti tamasaha. Urdhvam gachanti sattvastaha madhye tishtanti rajasaha jaganya-gunavrittistaha adho gachanti tamasaha urdhvam gachanti sattvastaha. Very, very interesting. I mean, you're following the line of thought if everything he says seems to fit into what you understood out of it. urdhvam gachanti sattvastaha. Sattva staha. Sattve tishtati. He who is in sattva, who is living in sattva, who is sitting, tishtati, being in sattva, sitting, standing in sattva. Urdhvam gacchati. Urdhvam means higher. So anybody who's staying with this sattva, statishta, if you're familiar with any Sanskrit, statishta, to stay. If you stay with your sattva, urdhvam gachanti, you go up. Those who stay with their sattva, they go up. Madhye tishtanti rajasaha. The rajasic fellow, then they stay in the middle. Right? Now, if you think about it, you would say, rajasic should go down, no? Why are they staying in the middle? They're doing all nonsense. Shouldn't they go down? Then he says that tamasaha adhogachanti. The tamasic people adhogachanti. Those who go with their sattva, they go down. So, the sattvic, if you are with sattva, you will go up. If you are in rajas, you stay there. And if you are in tamas, you come down. I don't know how you look at it, but when I first looked at it, I thought he's making a mistake. This cannot be so. Because tamasic guys are doing what? They are doing nothing. तो बैठे रहते हैं, कुछ नहीं करते. But the rajasic people are going about fighting wars. So they should go down, no? Why should the rajasic people stay in the middle and the tamasic fellows go down? कोई बेचारा घर में बैठा हुआ है, कुछ काम धंधा तो है नहीं उसको. He's just sitting at home. He goes down. And the guy who goes out to fight a war stays in the middle. Sounds strange, no? So why do you think it? Luckily for us, he knows what we are going to think, so he has answered it. Jaganya guna vrittistah. Jaganya guna. Jaganya guna means the lowest guna. If you have the vritti of the lowest guna, you stay in that. If you are identifying, you're associating with that, and you stay there, you go down. Because remember the order. Tamas is lowest, Rajas is middle, and Sattva is the highest. So if you stay with Tamas, that means you're stagnating. Then you're going downwards. Rajasic have a band. तो उस band में ऊपर नीचे उनका होता रहता है. But that band is there. They're not going above or below it. The Tamasic are going down. Now, please be very, very careful with this, because it is becoming tamasic has become a lifestyle for people. Everybody who is working is interested in retirement. Everybody is interested in retirement. Those who are working and they cannot retire because they require money to survive, they are interested in holidays, weekends, and being able to get away from work as quickly as possible. People are more interested in the money than the work. As you know, we are trying to hire somebody, because the work is really getting a lot. If you know anyone who would like to work for the trust, please let me know. We're trying to hire people. Everybody is interested in the salary. Hardly anybody is interested in the work. Their yardstick of whether to join Vedanta Wisdom Trust and work or not is what is the salary. That's the yardstick. These are people who wish to work for NGOs. When a person just, and there's no embarrassment, there's no nothing. They tell you, which is a good thing always. Why be embarrassed of the person? Either you give me so much or I don't join. Doesn't matter what you're doing, doesn't matter how you're doing, doesn't matter. Nothing matters. All that matters is abhi mujhe kitne paise mil rahe hain. And you see this even among the lowest. there was a lady who used to work for us. She would stand near the kitchen platform. Then she saw me come, then she'll quickly start doing something. And if she sees ki I'm busy, and usually I am, it's morning time, I want to finish writing or finish reading up whatever people have sent me, and I don't come to the kitchen, nothing is done. Just stands there. Like a Ganesha, she stands at the kitchen platform. Nice little rotund person she is. And so I have to remember every, half an hour to get up and come. I don't have to say anything, I just have to be there. Then she starts. It's like, those robotic toys. You chabi maro fine and they go tuk 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 tuk. Then that chabi ends. That happens to us also, in volunteer work also. When they listen to some inspiring talk, then they tuk 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 tuk. And then after it, gone again. Then again you have to listen to another talk, tuk 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 again. Right? So what's the point? Remember, today avoiding work has become a lifestyle. People are keeping on talking about work-life balance, work-life balance. Why are they talking work-life balance? Basically, they want to know how much rest time will you give me? All work-life balance. First, they went crazy. I'll only work. Now they want the other side and they call it balance. No, this is now tamas. You're all going into tamas. Please come back to work. So, when you go to tamas, when you try to avoid work, when you think work is a bad word, such a person goes downwards. No, I will only do so much work. So many people I hear nowadays. अब बहुत हो गया, बहुत किया. What do you mean बहुत हुआ, बहुत किया? Are you alive? Are you breathing? Are you using the resources provided by this world? So what do you mean बहुत हो गया? The world has to keep providing you something while you say अब मैंने तो बहुत किया. Like, you're living in a family. Somebody is making your food, somebody is washing your clothes, somebody. And then you go and sit on the kursi and you say, oh, मैंने तो बहुत किया हुआ है. What do you mean bahut kiya? If you're still using resources, it becomes your obligation to pay. You cannot say this. Yes, Omkar or Mahesh, who is it? Omkar?
Omkar. So in the older system, when they said Vanaprasthashram, what was the meaning of that?
The work change. Okay, so what happens is people fall in love with their gadi, right? So those times it wasn't corporate life so much. There was each family had their own business or their own farming or their own whatever they were doing. Now the elders of the family will want to keep their kabza on it, right? So that is not a good trait either for the elder people or for the younger people. So they told the older people, you people go out and do some service for society now. Okay, so go out, do some other work. These youngsters live their lives instead of all these oldie goldies. You know what Khalil Gibran says? Beautiful statement he makes, that you can learn from your children, but do not attempt to teach them. For they live in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit even in your dreams. Can't. Even today, nowadays, parents want to advise their children what to do. They are pulling their children back. Leave the kids alone. They have a different life. They have a different flight. So one prasthashram, they got everybody out of whatever they were doing. Remember, they're 50 now. And one prasthashram starts. That means their kids are like 25, 30, quite capable of running whatever it is that has to be run. So they diverted their attention a little bit. Go out and serve. Do not be so interested in अभी business में क्या हो रहा है, yes में क्या हो रहा है, उसमें करो. जाओ तीर्थ यात्रा पर जाओ. Think about higher things about life. Go and see ki, what further benefit can I give society? Because you have as a 50-year-old, you have so much knowledge, so much experience, so much understanding. Allow the world to benefit from it, no? So what did people do? Vanaprasthashram means मैं कुछ नहीं करूँगा. No, Baba, you have to go do more work, not less work. Maybe different work, but you have to go out in the attempt of service. And that's why when you come to 75, they give you ochre robes. Means now you take sannyas. Sannyas means, what is ochre robe signifying? Ochre is the color of fire. Hindus get cremated. So we take up ochre robes to say, okay, my desires have completely burned. Now my only desire is to be of service. I have nothing left to ask. Because by the time you went from 50 to 75, you have done this journey. Now at 75, okay, finish now. Now no more asking, now only service. Now that doesn't mean we take up ochre robes. Otherwise, next class we will see Gunas come in ochre robes. Don't have to wear ochre robes.
Not 75 as yet.
Yes, I know, but okay, chalo, when you reach 75, then you'll see him in ochre robes and I don't know what, big shandy or something. No, then Reena will come and catch my throat. So please don't do that.
Hariom Janki ji, just one question.
Yeah, one
Swamiji
second. Let's just finish with Omkar. Omkar, are you okay?
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Ganesh.
Swamiji, but
Why are you not
I'm sorry.
putting on your video, Ganesh? Anybody who
will.
asks a question has to put their video on.
Yes, I'll do that. So, just a question. Swamiji has not taken up to ochre robes. He has been, even at 95, he does everything, right? Whether it is business, whether we have I just some
No,
clarity
he
on that.
doesn't. No, he doesn't.
He didn't follow the he does everything, right?
No, he gave away control long ago for different things. His own students went to different places and started their own institutions, which they were free to run in any way they like within the framework that he has set. And maybe 10 years ago, he had given away even control of the academy. He had been reducing over many years. And now he doesn't even participate in it anymore. Of course, but he doesn't wear ochre robes, and you don't have to, make these declarations. You have to mentally be detached. And as far as he is concerned, now this may be just my opinion, even when he maintained control, it was a detached control. It was not like a control. So, I'm sure many of you think that, no, he's very uncompromising and he keeps all the standards. Yes, he keeps all the standards. But the standards don't vary. But I tell you once what happened in the academy. This was like, I don't know, 35 years ago. Some lady came to the academy. Somebody from overseas. I don't know what happened. I didn't go into the details. And I don't know what she told some of the students. She never spoke to me. I was a student then, never spoke to me. And I don't know what she told the others. But what happened is a whole bunch of students left the academy. Maybe 40%. Okay, some of us I was out at that point, and then I came. I mean, out means I was gone to Lonavala. When I came back, where is everybody? They're all gone. Gone. What happened here? Where is the so and so? Where is so and so? No, they've all gone. I mean, I was astounded. Can you imagine? Suddenly, half your people from the academy are gone. And we are not allowed to leave the campus, so there's no question of anyone going out. And then slowly it came out eventually that this lady, I don't know what she told them, but they all decided this was a terrible place to be, and they left. So now when they left, we called up Mumbai. We told Jayaji, Sushila ji that, these people have all left. So now it's strict instructions that when Swamiji is overseas, this was a different yoga. This was not like cell phone wala yoga. The strict instructions that if he's overseas, you're not supposed to call him. If he's not there, he's not there. You handle it. Whatever way you want, you handle it. But this was like everybody has gone now. What is to handle? So they very, gingerly called him up. So now if they have called him, it means something very serious has happened, right? So they said, so this happened, and then all these students have left and they've gone, and we don't even know where they've gone, they've just left. So he said, is anybody there at all? Yes. These people are there. Like when I'm saying 60% are there and 40% are gone, please remember that this number of students are only 30. So you can mention who all are still there. He said, oh, that's fine. If they are there, then I'll come back. Otherwise, I could have stayed here a little longer. Total objectivity. If everybody has left, and if these people also leave, just lock the place. Lock the place. And relax. Now they've gone. Now what do you want me to do? I mean, if there's some debate, some discussion, you can participate, but they've gone. So there's nothing to do. Then close the place. So it means lock the hostel and go there, lock the hostel and come back home and do whatever you're doing. So why I'm giving you this example is it must have been one of the most shocking things that can happen to a person who has recently started a new institution. But he was like, okay, somebody's there, right? The only thing is the practical aspect of it. Like, do we need to go there and lock the place? If so, do so. Somebody is still there, then it's okay. Tell them to lock those extra rooms. Right? So that's why, I mean, even when he controlled it in a different way. Like every 3 weeks he was traveling. That for every 3 weeks, control was not with him anymore. So he's always lived like that. So it's not that you give up control simply by going. Even while there, you need not have this kind of controlling instincts. Aditi. Not getting much clarity why tamas goes downwards. Please, could you explain the effect with an example? Aditi, when you do nothing, your whole personality starts collapsing. I don't know if you know somebody who was very active, very energetic, he was a big achiever, and then he retired. So his whole personality, you'll see, fall like a sharp fall, you'll see. That brightness, that smartness, that alertness, all of it will be gone. The capacity to take decisions will go, the capacity to do things will go. Your entertainment will be to go to the bank. What elderly people do every morning, they go to the bank. And whatever, they will be as busy as they used to be in their working life, achieving nothing. Like, I have to go to the bank. Like, you ask any elderly person, what are you going to do today? I have to go to the bank. Like, like I thought that's a big thing. They were dealing with their banking affairs even when they were working, right? So you see that sharp drop. You'll see it if you see a person move from. So anybody of you, when your spouses come to retirement age, please encourage them not to do that. They're not going to listen to you, but at least we should encourage the right things. And you'll see all sorts of pettiness comes into their mind after their work stops. You have not experienced it, but maybe in some time when Himanshu retires, he will suddenly find him come to the kitchen and saying, why are you cutting kanda like this? I've cut kanda like this all my whole life. Now, why do you have a view on how I should cut kanda? You can have a view on whether this food tastes good or not when I give it to you. But it's all sorts of unnecessary things they start getting involved in. And pettiness comes in a lot. Like things that have nothing to do. So you'll find many women say, oh my God, my husband is retired, he's eating my head up. They're going downwards. Perfectly happy couples after retirement, they start having problems.
So,
I'm just giving you examples because I think that's what you asked for.
so the clarity is not in the downward part, but do they realize that they're going downwards? Are they getting agitated, or then how does it affect them?
They're going down. If you don't exercise, you're not agitated, but you're going down. If you're eating the wrong food, you're not agitated, but you're going down. These agitation will catch up later on.
Yeah, we'll catch up later on. That's the okay.
Yeah.
Because if you're just not agitated, and then how would you even realize you're going downwards?
You don't. Even when you're agitated, you don't realize. Where is the question of realizing when you're not agitated?
Chankiti, you realize when you're agitated, you're going downwards.
No, not really. All this, don't talk about yourself. If you're making a Vedantic law, look at all the people in the world who are agitated. Do they think that they are unhappy? Forget going down. Do they think they're unhappy? You ask them, come to Vedanta class, you'll find a lot of fulfillment. They'll say, oh, I'm fine. So human beings are not known for good self-assessment. It is an ability to be learned. Human beings are particularly good at not recognizing any mistake they make.
Thank you.
Omkar, but the word associated with tamas is stagnation, not degeneration. Pig satisfaction. Yeah, so stagnation leads to degeneration. That's why he's saying, no, that if you follow the course of the lowest guna, what is the course of the lowest guna? Heedlessness, delusion, ignorance. If you do this, then what happens to you? You go downwards. It's a result of.
Hariom Janakiji, just one last question. When you come to the last stage, sannyasa, it's too far-fetched to discuss. It is mental detachment towards all the things, but you still serve, right?
The two are the same. You can do that right now. You don't have to wait for 75. Right now, you live a life of service and you're living a life of detachment.
So those four stages, we go through every day. We go through. Right? We are learners, like brahmachari, we family people. We go through this in every day. We go through all the four stages, right?
We could or could not. These are the four
But-
stages that are possibilities.
So what is the lifestyle of a sannyasa? I didn't understand that part.
Sannyasi only interested in service.
Only interested in service.
Oh, and
Okay.
service as a means to liberation, of course.
Okay, with self as the goal. Okay, understood.
Chanchiji, a clarification on Rajas staying in the middle. Could it also be because, I mean, they have at least the better sense to take care of their self-centered interest. So that's why they stay in the middle and not go down like tamas.
When it's spiritually or philosophically, when we're talking about going up or staying in the middle or coming down, what is this referring to? What is the definition of all these things? So going up spiritually means
Desires reduced.
Reduction of desires.
reduction of desires.
Getting more clarity.
No, reduction of desires. By definition, clarity is what you will experience. But spiritual growth means reduction of desires. Spiritual stagnation or spiritual thing is increase of desire, right? So what is happening to the Rajasic person is they're creating and exhausting, creating and exhausting, creating and exhausting. So they are really remaining largely where they are. Tamasic people, whatever is their corpus of desires, that is just there. And it's going below the surface. So one day when this tamasic person says, oh my God, I become so tamasic, I should do something, They won't be able to, because the desires have been pushed below the surface. So in the case of the Rajasic guy, he's exhausting, creating, in that band he stays. Tamasic that desires become inaccessible to them. You remember he spoke about tamasic desires in chapter 3 as
Womb.
yes, very good. In the womb. What are you going to do with it? You have to wait till it comes up now. So you're further away from spiritual growth because now your desires are only not known to you. There's nothing you can do. You just have to wait till somehow that cloud goes away. Okay?
Interesting. Yes. Thank you.
Omkar?
A Rajasic person is more likely to be angrier than a Tamasic person. And if I juxtapose that with the ladder of fall, desire leads to anger, to delusion, and then all the total destruction of personality. So it seems to be that a Rajasic person is more likely to get to that level of total destruction of personality. Why would you say it remains there?
All in that same range. When he destroys his personality, means what? He destroyed his body, he destroyed his mind, he destroyed his intellect, he destroyed his finances, he destroyed his social relationships, he destroyed all this kind of stuff, right? So it's in that band only, in terms of desires. In the same band, whatever he wants, he doesn't get basically. He'll lose it. What has happened to the tamasic guy is a different type of destruction. That his desires have gone below the surface. So now when you say he's destroyed, Rajasic, he's destroyed all sorts of worldly things. Worldly means he landed up in jail, or he lost all his money, or he did stupid things like that. But those desires are the same. He still wants the money and he still wants to be out of jail. Tamasic is a different type of destruction.
Janki, one last thing. So it sounds almost hopeless for a tamasic person to move to a rajas. Is that so?
Yes, yes. But you are again talking about a person. Think about it as a trait.
Okay.
So we do all this, we are also doing. It's not like we are not doing all this. Each one of us are doing it. So much tamas in our system, we don't realize how it's pulling us down. So much rajas in our system, we don't understand how it's destroying all our worldly stuff. And Sattva Bichara tries to come up, but we want to sleep between 4 and 6. So Bichara kaise upar aayega?
So isn't Hatha Yoga recommended for moving from tamas to rajas?
Yes. Sometimes Hatha means force. So basically, when you're in tamas, you have to force yourself.
So with the purusharth of the person, the tamas traits can be moved upwards to rajas.
Of course, everything. Tamas will go to rajas, rajas will go to sattva, sattva will go to trans sattva, but you have to put in the effort. No?
Okay.
All right, that's it for today. We'll end now. We are all going to the plot in the hope of preparing.